WiiWire game. Now, it wasn't that epic. I think it was epic. But you're not epic. I've already told you earlier today.
It's Mega Man.
And plus, there's more download content coming out later this month.
Why is this in a freeze frame? Is Mega Man just sitting there for this?
Okay, I'll be honest. I met Flashman. He kind of did something. I kind of punched him in the face.
You know what? Freeze. Well, Tony is, trying to freeze and ended up walking off the screen.
I fell.
He fell. Speaking of fell, Falling is a game from yyrgames. And in case you want to know, yyrgames is a developer for the Xbox Live indie games. He was available at PAX East, and we had an interview, and we have some footage of some of his games for you. I can't talk about it. Let's just roll it. Just roll it.
If you want to get indie games from Xbox Live Indie Games, we got a few booths over here for you. And this is yyrgames. I'm here with Aaron. Eric?
Yep.
Sorry. Aaron from yyrgames, best known as YYR on his own forums.
Yep.
With his game. So, what was it like to start development? Did you have any experience going into Xbox Live Indie Games, or did you just jump right in cold?
Well, I mean, the only experience I really had was 15 plus years of hobbyist programming experience. I started on BASIC on the Commodore 64, QBasic on PC, and then, C++ here and there, Java, and then finally XNA, which is based on C#. And jumping in was really effortless.
Now, I know your first game was Snake 360.
That's right.
Now, what did you learn in the production of that game, and how people reacted to it and so forth?
I learned that graphics are important. People like to say, well, gameplay is king. But if gameplay were the only thing that were important, a lot more people would be playing Snake 360. Because even though it has 300 levels and 5 difficulties and a really unique 4-player battle mode called Suffocation, it looks like Snake. And because of that, a lot of people say, well, it's Snake. And then they don't look at it. So you really need to spend a little bit of time on your graphics and make it at least look attractive to the eye. It doesn't have to look like a AAA game. It doesn't have to be another Gears of War, but it has to at least be attractive enough that people have a reason to keep looking at it.
Quick move!
Good.
It was a hard lesson.
Now, your most recent game is Falling, right?
Yes, Falling just came out.
Oh, what can you tell us about Falling for those who didn't play the demo yet?
Falling is a very, very retro-looking. In fact, I'm hoping that someone will, say to me, "Well, wait, I don't remember when this game originally came out. When was this originally released?" To which I would say, "Haha, you fell for it." But basically, what it is, it's an arcade action/puzzle game where you control Peppy the Penguin, who walks back and forth and attempts to clean up the blocks that are falling from the ceiling and eliminate Wally the Walrus, who drops in from time to time to cause trouble. And the blocks come in different colors, and there's a little bit of a color matching thing going on. You gotta throw or kick blocks into matching colored other blocks to get rid of them. And, Wally, you can just crush him any way you like. But, in later levels, a lot of blocks are falling, multiple Wallies are coming at you.
It wouldn't be called falling if there wasn't a lot of falling.
There is a lot of falling.
There's also a lot of failing, too, if you get crushed on.
If you're not careful.
If you're not careful. So, are there any other games that you could tell us about that are coming out for yyrgames, or are you still or just coming out, you're just thinking about new stuff coming out?
Well, SharpShooter is coming next month, and that is a pure skill test. It's just you, analog stick, a trigger button, and a lot of fast-paced action. 5 different difficulties, and yes, Point Blank was definitely an inspiration for that. If people who are familiar with Point Blank will be right at home or the police trainer arcade game that's pretty well distributed, so a lot of people know about it. But since there's no 360 light gun, you use the analog stick, and it's really sensitive because you can cover the entire screen with it, and you'll need to, especially on the expert and master levels, which are rude. They're just insanely hard and very difficult. But I have internet-based scoreboards, and you'll get your grade at the end, and either you'll feel pretty awesome or you'll feel pretty sad. But
But you'll have a fun time doing it.
you will have a fun time.
What do you think about the new motion controls that consoles have started to go with?
You know what? I'm excited. The motion controls, the HD, and of course the better processing power of the 360 and the PS3. I think it's going to really open another dimension. Now, whether indie game developers like us have access to, and I'm speaking strictly about Xbox Live
Yes.
indie games,
Yes.
whether we have access to Project Natal yet, I have no idea. They haven't told us anything. I think right now they're pushing Windows Phone with the new version of Game Studio.
Yeah.
So, that's a direction I may or may not take, but I'm hoping that they give us access to Natal in some capacity.
Yeah.
Because, of course, there are things that, arcade-style ideas that I could apply to that.
Yeah, I can imagine just doing this to make a box and falling.
Well, I don't know about that,
Oh.
but be interesting maybe to control a snake that way, or even just to poke cards on the screen,
True.
or targets. Bang, 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 bang.
SharpShooter becomes a lot easier that way.
Easier or harder, depending on what kind of shape you're in.
We'll have to see about that. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
You
thank you.
can, you can play all of his games on Xbox Live indie games right now, with the exception of SharpShooter, which comes out
next month.
Roll it! Roll it! Roll it!
Wait, they're back.
Wait, no. The commercials! Roll the commercials! Roll the commercials!